All right, let's see. Takes a minute sometimes. Getting started. So let's give it a few seconds. Every time I start, I look back at the video, I'm like mid-sentence. So we gotta make sure it's ready. I guess I'm leaving it a minute. That's what I'm doing. That's gonna be my test. 1 minute. Then when I go back and watch, y'all see how long it takes to actually go live. All right, one. Hey there, it's Angeline here, and welcome to my channel, to my garden. Today we are going to be planting in our Greenstalk. We have a lot of plants going, but we're going to be starting out, as you probably see me well lit, in our garden, indoors, a hydroponic garden. And we're going to take some of our plants out of the nursery because they're going to go there, and just do a little quick check-in before we go outside. All right, also we're going to check in on some of our plants that have gone through some changes over the season. So let's get started. Today's a good day for gardening. All right, so we have our, well, we're coming here for the nursery. Before we go, we just check in on some of our plants that we pruned. So our last video, we pruned down these tomato plants, which they're doing pretty good. Let's get into the light parts. So they're doing pretty good here. There we go. They're doing pretty good. Fruiting a lot. Lots of fruit. It's still growing behind the thing, but we got a lot of fruit growing. We have our spinach is always doing well, but this one started doing good since we've taken out. Remember, there was a plant here that was in the wrong cup, and it was letting lots of light into the system. So there was algae growing in the cups around it. We have this broccoli. It's a mini broccoli. This broccoli is going. The mini broccoli came out, and it's small. It's really mini. They weren't lying. So we're gonna get this mini broccoli out of here. We'll have some space to put some of our plants in. And our lemon balm is doing pretty good. But what we're doing today is checking in our nursery before we go outside to our Greenstalk, because we are going to be taking one of these plants out. Let me just move it here so we can do a quick look in under some good light, because the garden light always gives a little extra. It's not as bright. I mean, the backlight gets to me. So we have our, see if I can turn up y'all light, because I can't see. There we go. It's very dim. There we go. I can see what you guys can see. Okay, so we have our nursery. See how everybody's doing. Of course, I usually leave the cover off. Sometimes I put it on at night, so plants from above kind of rain down stuff that fall. All right, so we have our lemon. This is the one that's going outside. I'm like, ready or not, it's going outside. Some of the leaves are turning color. They're kind of fighting in here. Although the root's not developing, it's not going into hydroponic system. It's going into a soil system, so it should be fine. They'll give them more of a chance to develop, because it wouldn't be getting like pushed down with food every day like it is in the hydroponic system. So none of these are going to be staying in our system. They're all coming out. So we have this one. We have our purple basil, which is doing pretty good. I mean, I don't think, based on the way they look, their roots coming out. They're all pretty small. So, well, let's just check. We have our oregano. It's pretty good. This one, again, it fell, so I don't even know if there's seeds in there. Our little Leanie dropped it. We have our collard greens, 2 of them. They are developed roots, however, right here. But our system is pretty full. I'm thinking I might just put 1 in and take 1 outside. Let's see, and the roots are pretty good. So we got 1, 2. I'm going to take 1 outside. So let's take this here, and then, oh wow, they're doing great. I guess they'll come outside too. So our purple kohlrabi, they're all coming outside. And then we have our lemon basil, which hasn't rooted yet. And our dill, just starting its life. The dill's also coming outside. Well, maybe. I'm not sure. I'll decide. I ordered some more seeds, which they're in the mail coming. I have some yellow Swiss chard. I have some more stevia. So I ordered a few more items. During the day, I usually leave it open so that air can get in, especially since the plant seems so mature. And only this one we're gonna keep. The only collard greens we're gonna keep one inside the system. So I am going to see the roots we got. This is definitely half an inch right here. So I'm going to take the root out, and the other two, all of them are going to be growing outside in our green stock. So basically I use these just to start. We have our kohlrabi. I could have another one inside. I'll decide what I want to do. But for now, we're just going to take out one of these. This is our collard greens, and we're going to grow them inside. The ones inside are doing pretty good. So as you can see, there's two plants and two well-developed roots. I think I'm gonna keep the one with the most developed roots inside the cube. The one, as you can see, there's a lot of root development. So we are gonna be taking some of these and planting them outside in our green stock. So you can also start seedlings in the nursery. I like starting them in the nursery because they grow pretty quickly. You can check in on them. You can see how they're developing. So as you can see the roots, you can do things like this with the ones growing in the nursery more than if we were growing them outside. Also, I'm leaving them in the growing medium. As you can see, I'm not pulling them out completely. I'm just leaving the roots inside of the growing medium. So when I put this in the soil, it'll still have the growing medium on it, and it'll just go in the soil. All right, so this collard green, we're gonna put it in our green stock. The one goes here, and then leave that plant out. And then the kohlrabi, it's a lot of them. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna, there's two already in the green stock. So I'm going to take this out and then split the two that's in there now that are a little more mature. So let's go put this, two already in our garden. So let's put this one in here. I try to keep the collard green low, a lower place, because it's very big. So let's put on the outside here. It's a good area. This plant's growing strong, but it is winter. It is summer, so they don't stay that long in the summer, even if we're inside. It's still warmer, I guess, than it would like. And this one's by the front door. So I'm gonna put in here. I'm just gonna take this out. There we go. And there goes our collard greens, ready to start its life in here. And then we are going to be, everything else is going to be outside. So here we go. Okay, so this is how I ran out of covers last time, because usually I don't have this many spots open. All right, so let's put our garden back in the light, and we're going to take these two outside to plant in our green stock. We also have some plants outside that are going in our green stock, but these are coming too. So let's put this here, and that's it for our hydroponics today. As you see, they're moist, they have water. We'll check in on them next time. So let's go get carry my tablet with me. In this case, I need to check in on the lighting. So the cover, I leave it uncovered. These are going to be planted outside. Turn the light off. Yeah, so I'm going to plant all these outside, and then this container, we have another purple kohlrabi growing. I'm just going to use the container for it. You hear the cat. All right, here we are. We are outside. Okay. Yesterday, there was downpours, rains. It was very, 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 the weather was very, very, it was a huge storm. There you go. That's the weather was very aggressive. All right, so we are going to, we brought our avocado tree outside. Let's just check in on these plants, because they went through the storm last night. It's thunder, lightning, no one fell over. But I mean, well, the one that fell over didn't fall over during the storm. It falls over like 80 times a day, and then I keep putting it back on, taking it back off, putting it back on, taking it back off, putting it back on, taking it back off. So this one keeps falling. I took it off of the bottom, and then I just dropped the whole pot into a nursery pot, which I'm supposed to be using today. So I'm probably gonna take it out. And then I put some stuff to support it from falling down because it just kept falling a lot. This is our lime, our key lime, and I'm just gonna have to take it out of this pot because the pot it's in, it, as you can see, all the soil on the floor, it just keeps falling out. However, it did get a good soak last night, and all that wind, it was a lot of wind. So this was our key lime. This is our navel orange. Seem to have done okay. So they're nice and wet, and hopefully they'll be able to do good with their fresh rain. Here is our, I'm like, which one is this? This one is a different type, mandarin orange. It's growing some new sprouts here, which is doing good since it's been out. It's growing some new areas, and it got some fresh rain. So this one I put on the floor, not on a stand, because it has little feet, so it should be able to drain a lot easier. This one, since we brought it out, it started growing some new shoots. Again, it's 100-degree weather. These little plants that were here at the bottom, they were all, they were like extra dust from other plants, and then it sprouted and started growing, but it was definitely too hot for that plant. We have our mango, which started drying out yesterday, but we got a nice downpour of rain. And then our avocado, which it needs some sun. As you can see, it lost some leaves. It had too much water in it. So I brought it out this morning so that it can get dried out by our 90-degree weather and, make a comeback. All right, so our mango plant is hanging out here, literally hanging. But yeah, the wind was serious yesterday. It was very windy. Very, very, very windy. So we had to move it out. And it also was getting too much water inside. I wouldn't say it's getting too much water, but when the plants are outside, the sun bakes the soil and the water evaporates much faster than when they're inside. Probably a little later on today, if we have time, I'm going to add more soil to all of these plants that were inside. Again, they were inside, so they were kind of like living the relaxed life in the kitchen, in the citrus corner. So now let's give them some soil, help them deal with this rain and the real elements. So we're going to add a little more soil to top them up. But we're not here for this today. Today is about our Greenstalk and what we're adding. I have my little notebook here and what we're adding to it. All right, so we have quite a few plants to add in. We're going to start with I want to call it no shade versus shade plants. So the bottom, we have some plants that don't need as much light, and so they're going at the bottom. We have our pepper plants that we brought from inside, and we're going to put them in, I guess, the middle. I'm going to put the pepper plants in this shelf here. So let me get I took everything. I was like, oh, I don't have to go looking for anything today. Let me make sure I have everything, and now I'm missing something. Let's get some soil because we're going to need that. I had the little metal scooper thing. Hope not, because I did see one of our team members come out here. I hope they didn't take it with them. But I have two of them, so here I should be able to find one. Here we go. Little Scooby. As you can see, it rains a lot. So everything's pretty wet. We could do pepper on this level. All pepper. So that's the plan for today. So I'm going to push some of the soil towards the inside. We have quite a few pepper plants over here, plus the ones that we brought from inside. And then we're going to add some extra soil. So I'm just pushing in. Let me bring you guys closer so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just pushing in the soil a little bit because it is kind of low. I didn't fill it up all the way. I'm just pushing in some a little bit. And then I'm going to manually add soil there. And also when I add the plant, I'm going to add some soil there. So just pushing it in a little. What is this? Oh, this is like Rockwell. I was like, what is that? And we are adding some Rockwell in here as well. So just pushing them all back. There you go. So now when I add the soil and the extra plant, it gives us some space. So let's get our lemon. We're gonna do, this is the lemon pepper hot, and then our sweet peppers seedlings we're gonna add into this area. Yes, let me get the soil to make it easier. I'll put it on the table so I don't have to go through too much to reach it. And then I think I might do, I have a lot of zucchini. The zucchini that was in here before that we started the seeds, you know, some plants start quickly, like the ones that are now in the garden. I'm going to also take you guys to show you those, the ones that are in the garden, the zucchini. And some are there growing in there, and then some seedlings sprouted recently. So sometimes if you don't see it growing for a long time, it doesn't mean that's never going to grow. Some just take a little longer to sprout. All right. I think that's enough for before I put the plants in. Then put the rest in after. Now there was a little plant that I separated that I forgot to bring out here. I think I left it on the table. A little collard green. Collard green is going to go outside. Maybe I should put it in one of these cups. I think I might put it in something smaller before we put it in outside. Let me go get the collard green we left in the house. So we have our collard green that we left inside. I was like, what happened to it? This is our little collard green here that we left inside that we're going to have living its best life outside. So first we're going to do the peppers. We're going to just do a pepper row. So we have some larger pepper plants, seedlings. So this is them here. So let's get these into, they've been growing for a while. So let's get them into the Greenstalk. And some of these I also want to grow in a pot so that at the end of the season I can bring them inside. Because these are my favorites. Actually, these are sweet peppers. They're a larger variety. So I definitely want some of these inside. So let's scoop this out. The cool thing about using the rock wool when I'm pulling plants out is it's just one piece. When I have to pull these out, the roots down here, you gotta be squeezing. It's like the plant, you're going into labor with the plant. I use my spoon sometimes. The kids like the spoons, they take them out. I could shake them all out, but there we go. They're getting it out. Very good. Alrighty. So we got pretty good roots there. It's definitely, it was waiting to come out of here. All right, and I'm gonna put, let me see how the other section was looking for these pepper plants. Yeah, no, we gotta put one. I was like, I'm gonna put two in there, but I'm gonna put one in. I was thinking about putting two together. I changed my mind. I'm gonna put one in, and what I'm going to do is probably plant something, a companion plant with it. So let's put the hole in there. Now I'm gonna water these regular, but for right now, I'm also going to put in some water directly in there because it is quite thirsty. It's been living life in the in the hot sun. I'm just gonna water indirectly. This is our first water. All right, so we got our first pepper in. It's gonna be our pepper row. So I make these a little easier. Oh, let's add some more soil. So to me, I brought out my little notebook where I make my charts of where I put the things in. Something I forget, I changed them. I decided to start putting in pencil. We're gonna be penciling people in. Alrighty. So we got our soil in there, all the way up. It's very early in the morning, so the sun hasn't. Whoops! Tripping over you guys. So we got our first pepper in, and let's go for our next one. Oh, this is why I was like, where did this plant come from? This is why I just rested it. So we're gonna put this one in, and same thing. We're gonna add a little bit of soil on top. So we have a lot of these. These are our really sweet peppers, super large kind. Favorite ones, orange. So I'm gonna be surprised because I didn't mark which ones there are orange, but they're orange, yellow, red, and purple. So we'll see as they grow what colors they are. I'm gonna make sure to write this down on our little notebook. So first you want to fill it up to the edge. And with these, I do rotate them. However, sun comes in from this direction at one point of the day, and then it comes in from this direction, and of course it's coming in from the front. So it's not super necessary, but I do rotate. I put a sticker so I know where's the front, and then I rotate it every time I come out to water. So unless it's like a super rainy day or a rainstorm like the other day, then I do not that's the only time I do not rotate it. And the reason too is because if it was a super rainy day, that means that it was not so sunny. So I'm like, give the plant some extra sunlight. All right, so we got in our second pepper plant. So these are all sweet peppers. I think it's 6 containers, so I got our 1, 2, and then we're going to put one more of our sweet pepper, and then we're going to do our hot pepper. And then we are going to pot the other sweet pepper plant in an actual pot. And put some outside. So you add a little extra, bring it to the top. Let's move it over, and then we're gonna put in, get another one out of there. So this one's only 1 in its container. So we're getting these seedlings. They're ready to go. Just gonna squeeze it, loosen it up, and then get it out. I've been pinching them since my spoon. The kids took my spoon, and I have to go look for it. Pretty good, nice, cool roots going on here. Let's get it in. And then bury it in here. Get it in here. Add a little more soil to this one. There we go. And then give it some water. And the cool thing about this is you just turn them. Just give them a little turn. Start this way. There's some space for a little more soil. We gotta get these seedlings outside. I think I might put one of these outside in our out garden out there, just to have it hanging out with the tomato. We got a lot of space over there to garden, and I haven't really been planting anything. So let's put them out there. We're gonna put our other pepper plants out there. So we got three. One, two. Is that three? One, two, three. Yeah, so we got three of the regular peppers in, and then we're gonna put some hot peppers in. All right, let me get my little chart here. So I do have a spreadsheet online, but as I said to you guys, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna plan. I never plan, and the time is passing, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it with you guys out here, and then we'll put it on a spreadsheet inside. I'll make the decisions out here. So we have leaf, our leaf level up top. We have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those are the 6 tiers. I have them written out here. And column A would be the first one. So I'm gonna just put this one as a peppers here, and then I'll add it to my chart here. So we're not at the first one, we're at number 2. So we're just gonna write sweet peppers, and we put 3 sweet peppers. So that way we can keep track of what's going on. I'm just gonna write it out. And then I'm gonna add this to my spreadsheet. So this is what the sweet peppers are, and then these are lemon peppers. Lemon hot peppers. When they grow, they're gonna look similar. And this goes to the end of the column. And so I'm off. This is supposed to be the roll leaf. So I put the letters there, but that's my little chart, and we'll have it filled out. Right now, I don't think I have any herbs that I'm putting in. All the herbs are invasive, and I don't want to add an invasive herb in here, in this one. All right, so now we're gonna add our hot pepper here. So these are lemon hot peppers. I wonder if we'll get sweet hot peppers since they're so close. We'll see. See what grows out. Just adding a little more soil. Basically topping off the soil. There we are. And then we're gonna add in our hot peppers that came from our indoor garden. So that's these. These are from our indoor nursery. So we have our outdoor seedling nursery and our indoor seedling nursery. So yeah, so I put 2 of them in because one wasn't growing. So we have some already in our garden. I don't eat hot peppers enough to say that I'm gonna do 2 inside. So I'm just gonna plant these out here. These, they don't have to come out of the rock wool. They can stay part of the rock wool as they go in. So again, I'm not really pulling them out. I'm just going to break the rock wool open and wool and just plant them in. They are currently, staying in the, they can stay in their growing medium. So I'm leaving them in, no need to do all that trauma to the roots. They're not going into another hydroponic cube, so they can pretty much stay in. There we go. Stay in the rock wool while they're inserted into the garden. Same thing. Plant a hole in there. Put a hole in there. It's 2 inches about. Put it in. And let it grow and live its best life. So we got, these are a little smaller. I think that one went in too deep. Let's lift it a little. There we go. Give it a little higher. Let it get some sunlight. And then let's go to the next one. So these, all of them are going in there. I'm gonna leave this, probably put the pepper plants, the hot pepper ones, since they are smaller. I'm gonna put more than one in, one leaf, because yes, they are considerably smaller. The other peppers are normal size peppers, regular size sweet peppers, so they're gonna grow a lot bigger, so they need more space. But these are plants that are supposed to be growing in the size of the indoor hydroponic system, so they're a lot smaller, these hot pepper and the hot pepper plants. We're gonna put another one in here. Oops, just dropped it in. All right, here you go. Yeah, you need some more soil in there. Get a handful of soil. You got it. Got the soil raining in. There we go. So we got 2 in there. Two pepper plants in here. Let's go to this one. Let's add in another 2. So we're making space for them. Where's our? Again, yeah, I'm leaving them in the rock wool. There's no need for the rock wool for them to be traumatized out of their growing medium. They can just grow through their growing medium right into the soil. Pop these in. I'm planting them a little deeper than they are coming out of the rock wool. This is real life. They're outside. They're not full. It's not full wilderness experience, but you know, they're not going to be in a nice, neat area. So this is what happens where I go, oh, and I put pepper for the rest of them, and then now I still have 1 extra pocket. So I'm going to have to re-up my little spreadsheet, my paper notepad with, we're going to add another sweet pepper in the last one. Because I wanted to do a whole column of the same type of plant. I don't have that on any of the others. I thought that would be cool. Unless, or maybe I could put one of the purple kohlrabis. No, we're not. Let's do another pepper in there. Let's do one of the big ones. So the super large size, I'm going to have go outside. So we have, out of these, we have really tall seedlings and little short ones. I'm gonna leave these have branched out into 2 and 3 branches. Those are gonna go outside. They are definitely ready for the outside. So let's loosen this up and get one of them out of here. This also has branches branching out. They're like, listen, we've been ready. Then go get something. Let go of her. See, the team came to visit. They had a question. There we go. Ooh. All right. So I'm about to loosen it up. Just shake it loose. Oh, have they combined? They haven't. Oh, there we go. We got them loose. You gotta be very gentle with these plants, but we got them loose. Okay. So we're gonna add it in here, and I'm gonna pot that other plant in an actual pot. A separate pot. Because I wanted to definitely be able to bring in this larger size sweet pepper into the house at the end of the season. We're definitely potting that into a much larger pot. So we're adding some soil in. Got this pepper growing. Can't have the roots outside of the system, outside of the Greenstalk. It's got to be in there. Okay. A little mounding. And there, let's add some soil around it. All right. So break that up a little. All right, and then we are going to, so now you can see I'm pouring in like a specific soil. Let's add some water in. Just water it in. It had a rough night out with the weather. Watered them in. These were inside. They didn't get a whole thunderstorm. Let's water this one in. And then these pepper plants that we have here, we're going to send some of them to, so we got 3 more here. Uh-oh. You guys are falling out. Hold on. Look sideways. So I was like, me. Okay, so this right here, we're going to put some out in the garden and pot some. So we got 3. We're going to pot some right inside here and put the rest in the garden. So this one is a little exposed. So we need to pot it now. Let's get a small pot. Here we go. So these pots, I have them, they match inside. So I'm going to pot the peppers in here. And they'll just grow in here until they outgrow these pots. Let me turn you guys around. We can see that process really quickly here. This is what's been going on behind the scenes. So our soil, this is a jalapeno. This is our other plants, our giant collard green. That one I'm going to plant outside because I don't think it's too hot there. I'm just going to put some soil in here. I'm going to do our pepper plants in here. And do 1 per container. This one's doing pretty good in 1 container. These are smaller containers, and these are bigger peppers. So we're going to pot them here, let them grow, and then we'll soil them up eventually. Pot them up eventually with larger pots. This one I'm not putting in a mixture of soil. Just gonna get this in here. I'm not doing a mixture. I'm not doing food. Because I'm gonna water in the food for this one. Because I'm treating it like an indoor plant from now. Because in the long run, it is gonna be an indoor plant. So to keep it less excitement, not to make shock, we're keeping it inside the sunroom. It's gonna be well trimmed, well pruned. This is getting the inside plant treatment from now so that when I bring it inside, it's not too much of an adjustment. So we're gonna just get the soil in. Yeah, this is our 2 cubic foot bag, which I just rolled up the edges when I'm at the bottom. So we want a light, fluffy soil. I might companion plant it with something. I'm not sure yet. Something nice and shallow. But for now, we're putting you in here. So I put some seeds in. get our other. Once in a while it's sticking, I remove it. The non-moisture one, moisture control one, has tons of sticks. I'm like, ooh. That's why I mix them. But this one is pretty good. As is. Uh-oh. We got more soil than plant here. I mean, well, that's where it's supposed to be, but in the other direction. You can't have the soil above the plant. There we go. All right, so we got it in. I'm just gonna let this one grow in this pot, and keep it trimmed, well fed until it's time to pot it up. But I foresee this one, I'm gonna keep it small and well pruned, and keep it as a small plant with lots of fruits. So we're gonna be doing keeping this one well trimmed. Um, and so for today, we're gonna put it by the window for it to get sunlight. We might take it outside. I can't remember what the weather is like. And we're gonna use one of these larger ones also to put into this one. And then the other ones we're gonna put outside. We just carry it out there now. So we got graduating seedlings today. Graduating to more longer term homes. And we're gonna go to our next set of smaller plants and add them to our Greenstalk. We have a larger set of seedlings that are gonna go in next. I also wanted to put one of these sweet peppers outside too, in the outside Greenstalk. The one the plants are exposed to elements. The plants are tough out there, as we call them. That's not a. They're tough out there. Things are eating them. They're not screened in. They're just out there. The wind. Yesterday, listen, I could not believe the amount of wind and the way those plants were just holding on. I was like, oh, I hope they feel better. And it was hot and windy because the wind came, then the rain. So I was like, I hope those plants hold on. And they did. They made it through the night. And we even added a front out here. But yeah, we're trying to get through this quickly before it gets too hot and the weather gets us. All right, so let's get another one of these out. Let's see. This one has 3. Has 2. I think we're going to go for the one with the 2. We're about to take this out to the garden. There we go. So just let it kind of like let it fall apart. Let it fall apart in my hand. Is it 2 or is it 1? Oh, I was like, it's not falling apart. One time it was 1, and it just branched off under the ground, and I was like, oh, didn't know that. No, this looks like 2 separate ones. Yeah, so just kind of let them. I don't let it pull. I just let gravity to this thing. It's a deep root, so let me drop these roots in deeper. And here we go. All right, as these grow, we're gonna come out and we're gonna prune these. These are gonna be well manicured peppers. Put a little water. I'm only putting a little water because they were outside in the rain in our thunderstorm last night. So put this on the ledge, and then we're gonna take these. This one we'll put in our Greenstalk there, and we're gonna take these to the real outdoors. These are ready to go in the front yard, but I think we might have to do another video for that. The front yard gardening. Yeah, as you can see, it's soaking wet. Everything's pretty wet. This one I'm also going to be planting out there, so I'm just going to take it with me as we go on our little walk to the other side of the yard. We're going to just lay it in there. Wow, it smells great. That smelled really good. It'd be nice if we had smell vision. It smelled very, very good. And also, I'm going to take out one of our kohlrabis out there as well. Just so we got some plants, soil, Greenstalk, and inside Greenstalk. So we're going to take out one of the neck broke. Wow, we started getting a little bit of algae. Oh, we started getting a little bit of algae development. Good thing we took it out. Again, they get, once it's going in the soil, they can stay in the growing medium. This one, it broke a little, so I'm going to just put this whole piece in the Greenstalk outside. Just put it here for these that are going to the Greenstalk outside. And then this one, we are going to plant this one, these in the soil. I was going to plant one inside here. Still want to plant one inside here. Let's, come on, untwist thyself. Let's get this separated. Yes, if y'all are coming out, if you're all right, if you're coming outside, put it.
We're not coming out.
All right. Yes, we got some bug spray because they've been attacking our younger ones. So this one we're gonna put in the ground. So these are in the ground. These are in the ground section ones, and then one in the Greenstalk in here, and another one in the ground. But yeah, I don't pull it out again because when you're doing the ones inside, you're putting it in another rock wool. So then I pull it out. But if these are staying in the rock wool, so it's fine. This one we're gonna put it in, but we gotta mark it on our calendar, which on our sheet, which section we're putting it in. All right, so let's go out there on our stop. So we're gonna stop at our outside Greenstalk, and we're gonna go right towards our soil. What's going on in there? Oh, they're watching their show. Oh, she doesn't like the spray, so they are coming outside. See, they came outside. So let's go here. Wow, this man, the way the breeze is blowing this one, I was getting nervous. Hi. What's in your hair? Your shoes. Shoes? All right, so we got pepper here. It's going pretty good. I haven't even checked in on these. You guys don't need, this is not a, they're hopping on the cubes. Our zucchini made a comeback. Our cucumber, there's a bug inside a cucumber plant. Come on. All right, here. I'm using y'all to hit it out. Is it eating? It's like a little beetle. Oh, there's a couple of them. There we go. There we go. Quite a few beetles and stuff here eating. All right. Well, it's making a comeback because they were struggling. Again, when we transferred it out, it got had a little fun. Oh, the tomato plant, basically the rain pushed it over and it snapped. The thing about tomatoes is you can have them reroot outside. So I'm just, let me show you what to do when it snaps. Let me show you what I'm doing. Yes.
Mommy.
Look at them. They came out to visit. All right. Yes, the tomato plant snapped. I just covered it just now with some soil because it will form other roots on the top here. So hopefully that can help it recover. What is this? Oh, the type of tomato it is. I was like, what? So it snapped over. Yeah, the wind was serious. All right, we got a little pepper plant in here. We have a few more plants that are growing tall in here. I'm looking for, this is our potatoes. Potatoes are doing okay. Our cucumbers. I feel like we could put in a pepper plant with the cucumbers because the pepper grows tall and the cucumbers are growing lower down. Let's take off. They're growing away from their source. We gotta do some outside pruning. We never did outside pruning, which is the indoor pruning. This pepper plant, this is the one that with the two pieces that broke, but it did okay. These tomatoes are doing pretty good. Let's see, this is carrots. What's in this pocket? Checking for any empty open pockets. This one, the tomato, the potato, the zucchini, I think it broke. All right, we have one down here that looks empty. So let's go here. Let's put one of our plants in here. Let's put the kohlrabi in there. You can see the sun is starting to come out a little. So yeah, a lot of our plants, when we moved them from inside to outside, they went through a little traumatic journey and broke on the way out. So as my son was restacking the Greenstalk, he had some trouble with the restacking. So we're gonna put the kohlrabi here. Shouldn't be too hot. Should get the shade from the cucumber. So a lot of plants got injured on its way out, but they're healing. This cucumber plant, it snapped open. The zucchini, it snapped open. It's hanging in there. I don't know if it can recover. I'm gonna give it the opportunity to recover and see how it does. But yeah, the tower was one on top of the next, so they had some issues. And then here, this is a transplant from inside. Wow, what a first day to be outside, the day that it rains and there's thunderstorm. All right, so we're gonna put our sweet pepper down there underneath our chickpeas. These originally were going to be mustard greens, but it got hot. It got too hot. So they're not going to be able to do well in full sun all day, the hottest heat of heat plants. So we're going to put other things in there. Got potatoes doing okay. And now we're going to go to our other section. We're just resting it here. There's a plant in there. Oops. We got you guys tangled up. We're going to take these to our garden outside. Our garden, which is freshly weeded and freshly soil turned over. So we're going to add these over there. Okay, so let's check on these tomato plants while we're on our walk. The tomatoes, I had them growing here. They got a little extra food. They are, however, fruiting a lot, very well. So they're doing good with fruiting. I harvested yesterday before the rain, but this plant it's like under attack. So at least it's fruiting, which I'm trying to cut off the leaves that aren't feeling well, cut off the branches that aren't feeling well. It takes a lot. Some of our behind the scenes stuff, for more behind the scenes, join our Patreon at patreon.com, Angeline Verdant, Verdant. And this is where we do a lot of our plant recovery, plant experimenting. So this one is not feeling well at all. However, it is fruiting. It's fruiting better than the one that's feeling well. So, hey, it's priorities. But we're trying to take care of it and help it feel better. All right, so we have our pomegranate. See, our pomegranate is doing a lot better. Now that it has its holes for additional drainage. At one point, none of the leaves on it was green. They were all that reddish color from being overwatered. It had drainage at the bottom, but I added additional drainage, much larger size holes for it outside. This plant is not a 4 hour zone, so it has to be in a pot so I can bring it back indoors when the weather changes. So it's not going to be all the way indoors. It's probably going to be in our sunroom. So this is how it's doing now. I might put a frost cover and bring it inside to the sunroom. And I put it next to our other pomegranate plant so that it can get some good exchange of pollination, some good cross pollination, and we can get lots of fruits. What is our kale? Our kale, it fainted for a little while because it was very hot, but after yesterday's storm of cold and more cold, it's Okay. All right. So, and this tomato. This is the big boy, and it is a big boy. Stalk looks like it's coming to be a real tree, and we got plenty of tomato fruit in there. You can't see it. I'm using the tripod, so it's hard to get certain angles. But follow us on Instagram. You get all the still pictures of what's going on, and even the shorts. I'll have the stills. And this is where we have our zucchini. So I'm going to add, and our grapes. So I'm going to add our zucchini to this section because this is our little zucchini area. These are the ones that were in the cup. So this zucchini plant was seeded the same day as these over here. However, it just sprouted. So I'm going to add it with its other seed friends. See what's going on here. These are two separate plants. All right, we're doing okay. We got some fly here eating. We got a little bit of support. And then this is our grape. Make sure it's climbing. Yep, it's climbing. Okay, so we're gonna find a spot. Yeah, I'm trying this time to stay ahead of the weeds. You can see the zucchini plant is growing pretty large. I'm gonna plant it here. What if you guys can even see? Let's see if I'm on in the frame. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna plant it there. Zucchini plants with the rest of the other zucchinis in this area. Yeah, this was the seed it was in. It grew out of the seed, and all right, just a little deep. Just gonna try to keep the plant above. We don't want it to rot the stem. All right, so here it is. All right, so we got a zucchini in there, and we're gonna put two kohlrabis next to each other. I'm not sure how they'll do out here. I've never planted them in the ground, but we'll see how it goes. This is how they start. So I always plant them in a pot or inside. Let's get another one. So again, I'm planting. It grows very tall and narrow. This is purple kohlrabis. So, and then when we're in a video and a few weeks from now, I'm like, what is this? I don't remember this. You guys will all turn around and say, it is purple kohlrabi. And then we have pepper plants. Now the pepper plants are going to go in our little lineup here with our onions. Whew. So we're going to add these to our onion section, our two pepper plants next to our tomatoes. So there was three of them because three of them in this container. And then we could plant more seedlings. There we go. They came out solid together. A little paper. This is romaine. It's too hot for romaine, so we got to make some concessions. Now, I want to give this plant room to bush out. So you know what? Maybe I'll just plant more onions. I think that's the case. We need to give this plant space to expand. We have the kohlrabi, the zucchini. You know what? Let's put the pepper here. I don't think pepper and Granny Smith should have a problem. I think that they should be okay together. Or we could put, the pepper doesn't need support. Let's put the pepper here by the Granny Smith. Not under its shade, but just a little out of its view. So we're gonna put it right here at the edge. So it's not dwarfed by the Granny Smith, but so yeah, we're just opening it up like I did with the rock wool and just letting them fall naturally apart. This soil is Oh, I was like, this soil is very hard. It was rock. So of course that was very hard. And then we have a couple of things growing there. All right, so we have this pepper plant, and let's expand out a little bit to this section. We have some support. We can put 2 pepper plants in here. Since I haven't put anything else in here so far. This is a little cooler. I feel like lettuce would do better over here. It's a little cooler, but it's not cooler to the point that um, I don't think it'll make too much of a difference. So let's break it out. Here we go. Yeah, the soil is extremely wet. We had these massive thunderstorms last night. Lots of thunder, lots of lightning. So we got our little pepper in there. We got one, and then we're putting this one a foot apart. I do like companion planting, so that's why they're so far apart. To give them the opportunity to, we got a lot of tree roots going on over here. To give the plants the opportunity. Oh, this is a big tree root. Yeah, we had several trees. Well, not right here. We had some trees that weren't doing well. I left the stump over there where we cut down the tree, but there we go. Excellent. Okay. So we have our 2 pepper plants under. And then, you know what? We should just check to see how this romaine would do in a less under the shade of one of these trees, because it was too hot for the seedlings. Um, over here is a little more shadier. It's getting sunlight now, but has a little more shade since there's a bigger tree higher up. So let's get this. I'm gonna go over here, and then plant it here next to our honeysuckle, our honey apple. Put this romaine in there. Yeah, it was hot. The romaine was like, you can't take it. We're not gonna take it. The heat, it just kept fainting. They were just like, ah. So we'll see how it goes here. If it does good, we can then add some more. We'll add some more. If not, we'll just have to wait till cooler times and plant them. And that's okay too. That's why we have some lettuce growing inside the house, and in the sunroom, the lettuce is thriving because it doesn't get as hot there. All right, back to our Greenstalk, which is our plan for today. All right, so we have our zucchini going, our cabbage, something's hanging out with our cabbage. Our onions are doing good, and our tomato plant. I'm ready to get some tomatoes and see how it goes. And our pomegranate is doing well. It's definitely coming back with the extra holes, the super large holes. You know what? Let me water these plants in. It's a very important step. Since the soil is wet, I didn't want to add too much water, but let me just give them a few drops in the actual spots where we planted the newbies. Let's just give a few drops. It also got rain last night, so that's one. Got 2 peppers here. Yeah, the soil is very, very moist. And now pepper plant over here. Because it was a rain and a half that we got. And then our lettuce. It's going to have a little drop. All right, everybody else got their rain last night. Okay, so let's put this back. And then let's go. Gotta do my nails today. Show you guys tired seeing this color. Gotta switch the colors up. I'll do that a little later. All right, yeah, so the sun is just getting into this side. When you have plants, especially now, this time of the year, that do have a little bit of overwatering, I bring it outside. I see how the sun is beaming down the soil. It dries out the soil in there a lot more easier and quicker, so that they don't have to stress as much from having too much water. This one is not quite on it. Now, these seedlings, I'm going to do another batch of seedlings, probably another video, but there's random soil in here, so let's give it to someone. Of course, this is not what I mean by soiling it up. I'm going to add actual soil from our soil container, but we do have this, and it can be used. And just add some more. I'm gonna add a little more later. Add to our mango. Let me get you guys up. All right, back to our Greenstalk. We digressed far. It's our cooler there. All right, so we have some more plants. All right. So yeah, so these are the 2 peppers. I have them sitting there. I might take them out, probably put them in that chair outside. And we have these are the next ones that need to definitely come out, seedlings. These are definitely too big. These are our sorrel, but we want sorrel for Christmas. So we gotta get them into a bigger pot ASAP. So you have our sorrel for Christmas containers. I think they're too big. Oh, and then we have our purple kohlrabi. So let's put one in our Greenstalk here. Let's see. This is under our hot pepper. So let's go down to the second to last. These are our hot peppers here. We're going to go skip one and put our other purple kohlrabi that's in here in there. Plant in there. So it can grow. Now, I've seen people put collard greens in here. My collard greens grow huge. Let's see how they do. So we're gonna put a purple kohlrabi in here, and we're gonna put our collard green right next to it. Our next 2 plants to go in. And let's get our little hand water in. A bottle of water here. And water them in. Right now it's not super sunny. As you see, the sun is just coming up. So we're gonna add those 2 in. So we got kohlrabi and we have collard greens, which are usually large. So we're going to have to put something small or something that doesn't need that much sunlight at all underneath our collard green. So we have 4. See what hot peppers are here. And this is our second to last column. So we're gonna write collard greens, collards, and then the next thing is purple kohlrabi. All right, so we have those 2 in and logged. All right, so we have some more plants here. We have some basil. Basil does good at the bottom. It grows tall, so we're gonna add our basil right here in this section. There's 3 of them. They're doing fine. This is where the basil was the last time. In all of the Greenstalks, the basil is down here, and they're doing very well. It keeps them cool and helps them to not bolt. If I get some dill, I ordered dill seeds. When they come out of the nursery, they're gonna go also in down here as well. So I don't know if the dill needs cool as well, but I'm hoping that's cool enough down here. I don't know if it's cool enough. I'm just hoping it's cool enough. All right, so we're gonna put our basil in bigger cup. Put it right in here. Yeah, all right. It smells so great. Every time I put basil, the smell of the basil is so strong. All right, and then we're gonna put another one in here. Gotta remove some of that soil. Very light and fluffy soil. Yeah, so this is our mixture soil. I'm just pulling it from this side because this the cup needs a deeper. Well, where I'm transferring from needs more space to put it in. All right, so we have our other basil seedling. Again, see, this is where they've been sitting and growing. Not too much sunlight. Sometimes I take them out. Got some roots in here. These are propagated. No, were they grown? No, these are grown from seeds. These are seeds that came with, I believe, the Greenstalk. That was the second one. So they're going there. I'm gonna use these cups to size up our mustard greens because I want them to be nice and large and mature when I take them outside to the front. The front is tough territory. So let's get these in. Let's get another side of the basil. The cabbage. Let's get our basil here. As you can see, this plant's quite dry because it has been hot. I guess not as much rain got inside. So these definitely we're going to be watering them in a lot. All right, we have our basil. We're going to also add in our stevia. We have to get our stevia in a bigger container. Let me see the light requirements for our stevia plants really quickly and decide what pot it should go in from there. But this is going to make our lemonade sweet. So we have a little stevia seedling right here on the windowsill, and we're just going to add that. All right, so let's see. Is it a lot? Full sun, 6 to 8 hours. Okay, but it seems like they need cooler requirements. Let's see the weather for this plant. Yeah, 80 degrees. Okay, so this plant has to stay inside the sunroom because out there we're touching 100 daily. So we're gonna keep the stevia inside the sunroom, but we're gonna put it in a larger size pot. So let's move it to here for our plants going into larger pots. And then we have some arugula. So let's see what our arugula temperature, because it's a type of lettuce. I think arugula is cooler, but let's find out. So this is how I decide what which pockets to put them in. Yeah, arugula needs to be cold. So it's gonna have to go into one of these shallow pots that we have over here, or in the front yard with the mustard. I think I might have to put this in the front yard with the mustard. So let's also bring it out of the sunlight, and then we're gonna do seedlings in here today. Maybe today. how much time has passed. Make sure we stop charge. All right, these are onions. These onions, these leeks are having themselves a good time. However, they're very thin. But I'm growing them from seeds, so it is taking its time. So yeah, they're also cool. So let's bring the leeks. They're also they're also more wintry plants. So I think that they can go down with our basil. However, I like to mix the basil with plants that can handle like basil and leeks are good companion plants. So I want the basil to be a companion to someone, not two companions companioning each other. That's a good way to say it. Uh, let's do sun. So yeah, we can't put them out in the yard, our leeks, because it's definitely um, too much. Too much heat out there. All right, so let's see what we're gonna do with these. These are our cabbage. Let's bring them up to our windowsill. They're a little dry. That purple cabbage. They're a lot dry. They're not a little dry. They're a lot dry. That it's been hot. Get our leaves up here. So I've been taking them out. Let me just leave them in this container so I can continuously take them out and just give them some water. We have these larger ones where we're going to put in some plants. All right, so we have our scaling up section here. We're going to be scaling up these plants to larger spaces. All right, so move this here, move this out of the way. Let's see what container. All right, these little ones are going to go into these cups. These are going to go into big containers. So let's, you know what, let's do that first. This is a pepper plant. Let's do these first to go into big containers, and these also to go into a larger container. This needs to go back inside and washed and ready for our, those two purple kohlrabi are next to each other. We're going to split those. Okay, so big containers. These are larger sizes. This is one of our nursery containers for one of our trees. So this is a good size. I think it's probably a 5 to 10 gallon size container. We're gonna put those in a super large container, and then let it enjoy the full sun. Either put it in the citrus circle or all the way out with the. I think we'll put it in the citrus circle because we needed to get the full sun. This is gonna be our. This is our Christmas flower juice, Christmas sorrel. So we're growing a shrub out of this. So yeah, I have another bag over there. So yeah, we're gonna be growing a shrub out of this one. Large. And then I'm gonna add some more soil to the top. I have to get another bag. But I can't put it on the table. So yeah, much larger container for these. These are much larger shrubs. Although I'm growing them from seed, they are much bigger plants. This is our sorrel plant to make. Well, it's not our sorrel plant. Excuse me. It's not called sorrel. It's a rubella. We call it sorrel. The drink that you make from the plant is called sorrel. The one inside is our sorrel plant. But in the Caribbean, the drink that you make from this is called sorrel. This plant has been growing since February, but it didn't start really growing until the season, which is now. But it took forever to. All right, come on, let's go. It took forever to sprout. The seeds to sprout. Here we go. This one again, we're not doing auto feeding. We're gonna be liquid feeding. So So we kind of have more control. We can adjust. We're not doing a slow release food for this one. This is definitely going to be an outside plant. I don't, it's not for this zone. So I am putting in a pot. I don't know if it how it would do in the sunroom overwintering it. I would like it to do good in the sunroom. Perhaps if I put a frost cover over it, but I think it needs more than just frost protection for the season. So this is our rubella plants. February, I remember it was February, like Valentine's Day. I was wearing my outfit that I had for Valentine's Day in the video. I think I came back from church or something. And so I wore red to church because it was like around Valentine's Day. That's when the seed was planted. And then the seed didn't come up until April, when it was actually that time of the year. It was warm enough. And it was on a heated pad. Until April. And then they were skinny. Oh, so we made it to this pot. This pot is going to go out in our citrus corner. And there's another pot that's this size that I'm going to use. However, right now it's holding, let's take this one out and let's take this to our citrus corner. The pot is holding up the other plant because the other plant keeps falling down. All right, so it's this one here. I gotta get a new pot for that. We're gonna put this here. Let's see what's going on here. There we go. I actually put this to like support the other pot plants. Right, so we're gonna put this here, and then we're gonna put the other one up here, and bring the beets down. Because this is lettuce, and it doesn't need. They're actually fainting, so it could go underneath another pot, and we're gonna put the other one there. This one. So this has been supporting this plant because it keeps falling over, and I figured it was the size of the plant, so now I can't get it out of the bucket. Then actually I put it in here, it still fell over. Now I'm putting it over to get it out of the pot. Alright, let's see if we get it out. There we go. Ah, come on, there you go. So I had it like leaned up against this one, and then the other thing holding it. Then I re-manipulated the, the stuff to hold it up. Yeah, this plant has been falling over a lot. Let me drown out these really quick before they come through. So yeah, as you can see, I did the cloth for this one. I did this. Let's get those out of here. Some grass is coming through our mulch. All right, so then we have another large one. Oh, it's too big. We'll put that there for now. All right, so we'll keep this one here so you get some sunlight. We'll come and water it in a little while. Then you get the sun and the heat. This plant is waiting for the sun and the heat to blossom. And then we're gonna get this one out. So yeah, this is our hot spot. It's very hot. There's lots of sun here. This plant, I don't know. We're gonna get the stick is not supporting it now. Hold on, let me adjust this support stick. And it's doing so well. The key lime is doing excellent. It's growing. It's flourishing. It just keeps falling down. There we go. The support stick. All right, just support it a little bit more. There we go. All right, it just keeps falling down all the time. So now we got it supported. I'm gonna still change the pot. I have to get a pot though that's large enough, that's more permanent to put it in. That has a wide bottom, or even a wider bottom than does the top. As you can see, this is where this is the pomegranate plant, the one that's in the ground that's hardy. So this is the one that's hardy, came in this pot, and the non-hardy one, I think the avocado came in that pot. The avocado is also cold hardy, but to an extent, and not to the extent of over here. Well, it is to the extent of over here, but we've had the weather is shaky, so it's into I'm in zone 8A. The avocado plant is hardy up to zone 8, and for the first time in like 100 years, we had like zone 7 weather. So I'm not leaving the avocado outside, but it does need to dry out a lot. So we letting it get that opportunity to do so in our 100-degree weather. If it's gonna rain today, I'll bring it back at least in the sunroom. But other than that, I need it to dry out as much as possible. And we want fruit, and that's the point. We want fruit. I guess I have to cut this off. This is metal. All right, I have to figure out how I'm gonna cut this off. I think I'm gonna have my son get a tool to cut it off. But yeah, these need a much larger, because it's a much larger shrub that's gonna grow out. So I'm putting it in much larger pots, so it can grow and expand, and we can get some nice juice tea. I was looking online. In Australia, people grow this a lot, the rosella plants, and they make jam with. They make jam with the flour. It's really good. It has a really nice flavor. So I'm ready for my juice. This is the juice stuff. My flour is for juice, lemon, limes. They're all the juice area. Yeah, so it's so much easier. We just lift it and pour. Then me scooping and also making a little mini mess on the ground. All right, our stevia, we're gonna get like a medium-sized pot for it because it's also not comfortable with potting up a lot. This, for now, should be the last size we're going for with this one. And I'm just gonna, it's not in one of the pretty pots because it probably is just gonna come in the sunroom. Because yeah, it just went dormant. It was on the kitchen table, the seeds didn't even move until it was time. Whereas some other plants, they do okay inside. They are like, oh, temperature is right, the water's right, we'll grow. This one was like, it is not May. It is not April. And it's not moving. All right, so let's get our hole in here. Our rosella. So make sure we get our sour drinks on. Got some plant food in there. We got some nice roots. There we go, came off. All right, we're gonna get this one out there and get it all the sun and fun it would like. Sun, fun, and heat. So we're gonna have our plants baking out there. That's why we're putting them to bake. Putting the soil to bake. Getting us some nice fruit plants. Getting some birds and the bees action. Alright, so I'm just gonna move this over. I'll carry it out in a little while. Let me get our stevia plant. This has the clay. I'm gonna drop the clay in there. So I have cups with holes in them, and then, so you know, I try to keep them separate for when I'm reusing this method. I don't put a cup with a hole at the bottom, and so on and so forth. That's stevia. Let's get that plant in a normal size pot. Let's make sure this pot has drainage. Alright, this pot needs some holes in it. So I'm gonna put it in this pot here. It needs some holes in it. So let's heat up our soldering iron and get our mustard greens in our bigger containers in the meantime. Let me go get the soldering iron quickly. we're up a team member. Let's plug in our team. That's you.
You?
Yes. Let's plug in our iron here. Let's let it sit until let it get hot. All right. In the meantime, while that's heating up over there, let's get our mustard greens in. They're also a plant that don't like transplanting too much, but this should be the last one before it goes to the front. We just want a much larger plant to go to the front, because again, front's a little dangerous. So let me see if I have any more of these. I think I found, this is it. Found two more. So let's see if we get them in there. These are mustard greens. They're cool weather, so they're not surviving. I stopped putting them. I was putting them outside in the very sunny area in our citrus circle, and they were fainting, shriveling up in the citrus area. So we are, yep. You get hat stuck. She got a birthday hat stuck in her hair. So we are gonna put them in the front where it's cool, very cool out there. And hopefully, well, at this rate, we should have some that will be full ready for fall. All right, hold on. Need to sneeze. All right, so this is our zucchini. This one is not doing so well. It grows, it stops, it grows, it stops. Let's get our mustard greens. They're always very fragile. Just loosen them up. I don't even know what plant is in which container. All right, so these two are in this cube over here. This one, all right, so this cube is empty. All right, so this cube is, let's work this one out. Very fragile, very fragile. These plants. I do not grab them by their stems. I just grab the soil and the roots. Who's this? Oh, I'm like, I can smell the soldering iron. What's going on? So you just pull the soil up. Do not grab them by their stems. These are tough. They've been out there. They've been in the world. They know what it has become. These plants, I was saying they're fragile, and then when I'm picking it up, it wasn't fragile. It was tough. So the wind did it well out there. Yeah, the ones inside are usually very fragile. These, I guess, have been out in the elements with all the windy days that we had the other day. Yes, that's the thing of the week is clean your room. So Addie got it down packed. Their room is supposed to be cleaned. All right, so this one we're gonna let this live here, and then we're gonna some more. These plants go very big, so when we're maneuvering them, you know, again, they don't like transplanting, so this is the actual transplant, but we're just gonna take the cup size and just put it right into the ground. They are really tough. I'm surprised. Usually I've been growing them small this whole time. I mean, inside this whole time. But these, hold on. See, look, this is how she knows how to say room so quick, so easy. Because I have to tell her sister, time to clean her room 8 million times. And this just keeps popping up, making messes with other places. But that's the cycle with the kids. So after this, that's the next step. She came and got her sister. I mean, her sister didn't have to go to the room, but there we go. She wants company for cleaning. Okay, here we go. Our next one. Yeah, these grew strong out there in the wind. And boy was it windy. Out it's been a time. Again, with these, grab the soil. Do not try to grab the plant. Even though they're tough, soil. So I usually use my little spoon and spoon it out. There we go. I would turn it upside down, however. All right, this one has a lot of roots and not a lot of plants. This one is a full-grown plant here. It's an adult. Yeah, that wind made these plants strong. These seedlings, I've never felt seedlings this strong that were mustard greens yet. All my little hydroponic mustard greens, they grow big, but the stem is never like this. These stems are hard. Like, what? Plants, so where you think I developed from? A windless office? We were out in the citrus heat. Citrus circle. See, I'm planting them pretty high up. I'm running out of cups here. With this being said, I think I might just throw one in the ground outside since they're so tough. See how they do. I'm gonna take that one. Man, they didn't break. They're like break. We don't break. We stand tall. Yeah, I've never felt seedlings this strong, this tough before. For this plants. Other plants, yes. But the plant is literally, they grew up. This is some rockwool. These are, he said, what? From the streets of outside. Yeah, none of the seedlings that I've been growing mustard greens now right through the winter. And none of them were this hard at this point. They're all skinny and flimsy. These experience the elements. All right, so yeah, this is what I mean when I'm like, let me check it. This is not even this plant. This is this plant that grew, just moved over. All right, so there's nothing over there. This goes here. This one is from here. Okay, here we go. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna put one of these out front as it is, right as this little seedling. See how it does. I'll let it cook. All right, here we go. So we just used up all the cups. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we got some big ones. Let's put it outside. We could use the double cup method for some of these. So for the double cup, and then we got holes in the bottom, and then we double up the cup so it could drain out. It's pretty easy for the soil. Actually, these plants do good with double cups. So let me do a double cup, and then the rest we're putting outside. Getting the soil out of the cup is you just dip the cup in. All right, and then we drop this in. Yeah, scoop it out. And then let it separate on its own. just lightly. What happened here? How you guys are so close. You guys are so tight in there. Hold it up. See, this is like inside. Yeah, from in here, from the outside. All right, there was something. What was I putting? Oh, this one. I was like, let me not make sure I don't use a plant container that I was going to use for something else. So these already have holes, as you can see. The rosella was growing in there. So let's hold it here, and then put the dirt around it. And then put this in there. All right, so I'm gonna put these on the, and they were doing okay with the sun. I'm gonna, on hot days I'll bring them in, but on cool days I think I might still leave them, let them get some sunlight. All right, we're gonna take these to the front, these two, and we're gonna see how they do outside. Direct soil, and then while we're here, the soldering iron should be hot. Let's heat this one up. Oh, the cord isn't long enough though, so let's put it here. Just gonna make sure it's just well drainable. Make sure it's very easy to drain. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I put a lot of holes in there. You can't have too much. I mean, you can, because you don't want the soil to come out. But put 1. You don't want the soil to come out, so of course that's too much. But anything short of the soil not draining out. All right, let me go plug it out. Because I'm done with it. I don't want to forget this outside. And it just stays on indefinitely. As you can see, it's smoky. It's here. This way it can be seen and far away in case anybody comes out. He's smoking. We're gonna put our stevia plant. That's gonna be our sugar for our lemonade and our juices, our sweetener, our tea. You put some tea leaves in and you put a stevia leaf in, and there you go. You got sweet, your tea sweetened naturally. I mean, all sweeteners somewhat natural to an extent. All right, so let's get this in here. This looks about as high as this part is. This is a little rice container. See, it definitely needs more. It needs more everything. It needs more food, more space, more everything. There we go. Right time. And then we're gonna water and give these plants a watering out there. Apparently nobody's really liking the 90-degree weather. Okay. So got our stevia plant in this little home. I think I'll put it on that railing. There we go. All right, so let's put these. I'm gonna do like a overall watering with the hose. I'm just gonna put them all together, and then I'm gonna water them as a group in the citrus area. All right, this also needs watering. It's a pepper plant. It's dry. We're gonna put them on our little tray here, where we have our seedlings and these small plants. Yeah, these I brought in the mustard greens because they were literally fainting, but now I feel how strong they are. I'm like, hey, All right, we're gonna put some water, but they can't. We won't have them outside. We'll bring them in to get sunlight and bring them back in the sunroom. Just get some sunlight, some strength. There's sun in the sunroom. It's just not as much sun as outside. Let's get these on the tray. Yes, and we're gonna water the whole tray together. It's pretty much. And then this can go out there. So I call it my little tray here, my seedling tray. I'm gonna bring it out there so it can get some seeds, some sunlight. There we go. Okay, so the big one, we're gonna get this out, carried out first. We got our rosella plant out here. See where we're gonna put it. I need some more plant stands. There's a rock there. Just gonna let it grow there. And then this is our tray. I call it a tray. It's not really a tray. It's our tray here. Oh, I dropped the plant. I'll see, but this is. What about cup smell? Ah, I don't even know where the plant is. That fell. Here it is. Okay. Our double cup plant fell out. The good thing, these are those super tough mustard greens. So it'll be fine. Let's get it collected up here. And get the soil back in. It's the main thing. Although the mustard green will be fine, the rug is not. The rug and me going, oh, I just cleaned this, and it was so hard to clean. That's gonna be the hurts. not the plant. The plant is gonna be just fine. So get the soil back in to the cup. And I need some breakfast. We're going to be finishing this up shortly. Oh, you guys can see I'm just adding in the soil, some soil back to the plant that fell down in our double cup. Yes, I'm going to do like a spray watering for all those plants there. And then let's bring, I guess this can come out. I'm figuring out this one I think needs it. This one is, we got to harvest here. Let's get our pepper plants out. They like the sun. Let's get our pepper plants out into this section. I'm going to give all the plants a group showering. All right, and this is the other pepper. This one. So yeah, I brought some plants in because of the storm, because I was nervous about them blowing away, falling down. Those out, and then let's let these get some more sunlight here. So let's get the hose and hose these down, and then we are going to take our mustard greens and plant them in the front, in the cool area. So let me go get the hose. Hose all the way on the other side. Well, there's one on this side, but this one requires the app. Let me see if I can do it. I wonder if I can get the hose on without the app. Let's see. We'll do it. There's a button here. Let's see if the button works if I press it without using the app. Oh yes, there we go. Let's use this button. We're gonna water everything. Oh, this is too much. Too many one time. So usually the other one is inside. There we go. So yes, you don't want full blast water coming out. This one I use to water the Greenstalk, so it doesn't have a top on it. I use to water that. The citrus plants have been going with the rain, and most of them do have too much water in them, so I do not usually water. So we're just giving it a little drip drip. The other half of this one is inside of the sunroom, and when I use that one, there we go. So this is a little drip drip. When I use that one, it has a top. Okay, let's see. Let's go here because these are some that just got planted today and didn't get got pretty dry. So we just want drip, a little drop, a little drop, drop. It looks a little bigger. Get more than a little drippity drop. So that one over there, this watering system, this I left open because it goes to the watering system for here. I haven't connected the watering system. However, it has its own attachments. So it automatically waters, and then I usually use the app. But just now, I always seen this button on there that you don't have to use the app. So let's try water. There's so many buzzes here in the food. Every time I come on here, buzzes. Oh, let me do the thinking stuff. They're eating off the plant. The good thing is that just pull up our Greenstalk reservoir. Let it fall up. So the thing with the ones in the front, so give a little drip drop. Nothing too hot. The citrus plants are all beyond water because they all spent the night out here. Rinse my hand off from all of the soil planting. I give it a good wash inside. The soap I use is really good. It has like beads in it to scrub. Great job. Great soap. All right. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So we're going to the front yard. Now the thing about the mustard greens, they grow extremely large. So I kind of wanted to plan out where I wanted to put them in the front yard. However, I'm not sure. Waiting to plan what you want to do is also takes time. So sometimes you just got to do it. Like with these. All right, so these are plants. The sun is starting to come up now. It's still very cool outside. So I'll probably come and bring in this tray. I just leave it out for a little while, for about 6 hours, because they need maximum sun. Then I bring them inside of the sunroom. They still get sun in there. This is a sunroom, as you know, it's called, but they don't get the heat of the day and they're not fainting and everything. So by the mid-afternoon, see what time it is now. I don't know what time it is now, but mid-afternoon, before the sun gets its hottest, I bring this into the sunroom, and then they just get sunlight, not all the sun heat. But these stay out. As I said, this one was upstairs in the bedroom. It had a little bit of overwatering. That it wasn't drying out. It was getting inside problems. I was like, it needs to be revitalized like these with some sunlight, some breeze, some birds, some bees, and some hot 90-degree weather. And those have been waiting for the 90-degree weather. My peppers had to come out and eat them. All right, so let's go do our mustard greens to the front yard where food is moving to the front yard. Right now, I've been using the front yard for seeding, and we have the cherry plant there. But these two, we're gonna put these two out in the front. Direct sow, no double cup method from seedlings, straight, and we'll see how they do. Hey, left the TV on. I don't know what they're watching. But there's some other very large plants in the front, and I always look at them and say, oh, it'd be nice if there was something that was edible and nice and fun to eat. So I wanted to replace those, but didn't get around to it. So I'm just going to plant these out here. But we gotta figure out where out here we're gonna plant them. Also, that's someone calling me. I'm gonna shrub down these right here. We have our mustard greens that are seeding, so I'm sure a mustard green or two is gonna grow out of this section where it's a little empty here, because the seeds are seeding on this side and the same thing on this side. Now these lilies aren't always up here. They're not in bloom at all times. So that plant is gonna go down soon, and then I'm cutting the shrubs. What I'm gonna do is try to take some space from this plant. So I probably would plant them right here in between these plants. And I'm gonna cut the seeds off right now on the other ones to make sure I don't want it seeding. So let me go get the clipper and I'll be back. Hello. All right, let's make some decisions. All right, one thing, different plants. Okay, one thing is these flowers. You know, flowers make seeds. We had a path here. My daughter learned about what did they learn about? They learned about worms, and so every day she's been lifting up these bricks and looking for worms, which has then led us to having none of them lining up. So we cut these off. I do not want this coming to seed because I don't like this plant. Everybody likes it. They're like, it's so pretty. It is pretty. It's also giant, and it takes up space, and it kills everything underneath it. And if I had a smaller one, yeah, I'm not gonna take the scout time out today to trim down this plant. On the side, I trimmed it down, so I'm gonna trim down a little later. Let me just plant these mustard greens, get some breakfast, and then we'll make this circle a lot smaller, both of them. And maybe one day we'll do, I have to do another live maybe behind the scenes of doing all these shrubs out here, because they all need cut. After all the rain and everything, we need to cut down all of these shrubs and get them cut down. All right, so this is the section we're gonna plant in. We're gonna plant our mustard greens. I'm gonna plant a little closer to this. This plant goes back in a month or two. So there are two of them that are probably going to grow to the size of those over there, so I have to leave room for that. But this one, I'm going to make it a smaller circle. Probably either tomorrow or later on today. We're just going to grow it into a smaller circle, so it takes up less space. And I would prefer to have my nice red, beautiful, large mustard greens growing than this plant here. And they grow a lot in the cool. They survive in the cool weather. So the only thing is the warm weather. And if it comes to seed and we have more mustard green seeds, I'm fine with that. with them growing in the cool weather and coming to seed over here. I'm just picking up some of these other greenery that's been growing here. Put them out. This is another, those two have to also grow and finish their cycles. I think right here is a good place to plant our mustard green plants. Can't plant it too deep. Um, yeah, this is 2 rows of mulch growing under here. Also, I have to keep in mind too, in the early spring, I have lots of tulips. There are 90 something tulips that pop up here. So I have to keep that in mind also. So right now we're just going to do one on each side. One mustard green plant on each side. So let's get them out of the container. And we're going to see how it grows. Because also, this is not really the season. Yeah. Get this out. Squeeze it. Right, here we go. Now we got 2. So we're going to put one on this side of our garden and one on the other side. So we do have food. We have lavender over there and cherries. All right. Direct sow. This is your new home. You're going to have lots of company because you have right now the seeding ones. And I'm not getting every single seed. So the other ones that have seeded will also. It's very cool over here. Very cool. In this part. All right, and then we're going to put in the other one on the other side. So it's nice and even. Other side of our little leaves in between these plants. We got some random stuff growing here. These are very thorny. I try to grab them by the bottom part. The thorns have not come out yet. And pull them out. And put them in the trash. Yeah, she's been coming in, pulling up all the rocks. And then so our rocks are not in a straight line anymore. They're just weird. But this exploration, it's cool. I try to get her to put them back straight. But they get back how they get back. Okay. And we have this one. And we're going to come. As you see, everything is soaking wet to get to the soil. You have a lot of mulch because the mulch is brown. And, oh, there we go. That's one of our, see, this is our tulip bulb. Oops. Let's see if we can make some space between this and the last tulip bulb. They shouldn't be too much on top of each other, but yeah. This is where our tulips all come out. And it's okay if they come out near the mustard greens because they are not different times of the year. Let's shake some seed and soil in here. A lot of mulch. And there we go. We get our mustard greens in. Let's give some water. Water them both in. What? We got tools in here. What's called jet? Yeah, this. So you're using for the car. The jets. Watering. There we go. Just gonna water this in. I want to pull out the whole hose now. I'm gonna pull it out. Let's pull out the hose and bring it to the other side. Hopefully it doesn't hit that one. There we go. Let's water in the other one. Get some rain over there. Oh, how sweet. You see these lilies? Man, these lilies. They really like the garden food. This is where I empty out my this is when we refresh the garden tank inside and you empty it out. This is where all the food is. So this is where I put the extra food. So I'm gonna also, I started putting it by the cherry tree. So let's just take a walk and visit our cherry tree before we end for today, just to see how it's doing. We have our lavender. It's doing okay here. Our roses, they're out of season. We do have some bugs eating our cherry tree. So we're gonna, there it goes. There they are, just eating. Just hanging out here eating. Like it's a good time. They're hungry, we're hungry. So we're gonna have this something on there. But it's growing nonetheless. I can't see what I'm showing you guys because the light is reflecting on my phone. But here's our cherry tree, cherry plant, doing its best out here. All right, so thank you very much for joining. We got all of our seedlings in. We put some stuff in our Greenstalk. Of course, we have more things to go. We got more seedlings. We also have more seeds that I'm going to be planting. So I'm going to get some yellow Swiss chard and plant some more Swiss chard inside. Thank you very much for joining. See, I don't even know I've been sweating this whole time. Thank you very much for joining. I've been Angeline and the team. Don't forget, for more information, visit our website at avgardening.com. And you can also get more information on our Patreon at patreon.com/Angeline Verdant. That's VERDANT. Thanks very much for joining, and stay green always. And we'll see you next time. And bye for now.